Going through the math, it's actually the $4,900 mistake, but we're gonna focus on just 3 grand of that for right now. So I'm getting pretty close to the next Hell difficulty level. I'm on Hell 7, I'm getting pretty close to Hell 8. Look at this, I'm at 50% above, the server just rolled over, we're 6 levels above. Today we're gonna be hitting 480. I've been farming, you can see all these legendaries in my inventory. I got some green arrows waiting for me for the next difficulty level as well. I've been farming. I actually have one super nice piece that's a triple that I can't wait to use. That somehow is a triple without an invocation because it's a property, but you know what, it's fine. While I was doing all of this farming here, I was getting more and more essence as I've been farming. I farmed actually 16 hours yesterday, just a whole bunch of these, got the majority of these essence yesterday. While I was farming the whole time, I was thinking the same thing. My God, if I could do it again, I would do it different. And here's the thing, in order to understand why this is such a colossal fuck up from me, you have to kind of understand my backstory a little bit. Now, I know it might not seem like it in Diablo Immortal, but I'm actually like kind of an insane MMORPG grinder. In fact, I've been playing MMORPGs since I was like 8 years old. I'm 32 now. I know I don't look it, but I'm actually 32. My birthday was last week. And I've spent way too much time grinding MMOs. I mean, that's definitely my #1 most played. Of course, there is an argument to be made. I spent too much time in League of Legends, but that was almost in a different lifetime. Now, in these MMOs, I've always been the one to focus on a certain type of thing in the game, which isn't really applicable in Diablo Immortal. That would be the economy and trying to become as wealthy as possible. So this game doesn't have an in-game economy, which was kind of a bummer for me because that's something I really like, collecting items and trying to become rich in the game so I can help out other people, as well as just having access to all the items was something that I've done in many MMORPGs. Here's the problem, however. It's not the only thing I like. I'm also a big fan of just straight up gambling. I know I got a problem with gambling. Trust me, I know. So for that reason, these gacha games have hooked me in for tens of thousands of dollars over my years of YouTube. And I've been up here trying to preach not to do it while doing it myself. But this is kind of beside the main topic of today and is more of a side point. It's not really the major mistake I made, but it's part of it. Now, while I was farming, I happened to be playing one of my all-time favorite MMORPGs, if not my all-time favorite game in Jimro that I still play to this day, called Old School RuneScape. Old School RuneScape is a great game. Many people already know it. I'm not going to try to sell you on the game, not the point of the video. However, what I will let you know is that in Old School RuneScape, at one point, I had every single item in the game and was considered somewhat disgustingly wealthy. How did I do that? I did it 3 ways. I farmed 6 months straight with 4 accounts in order to get enough gold. I got lucky and had someone give me some gold, and then unfortunately, I went to some place called the Duel Arena and decided to gamble my gold, which is where the gambling problem really kind of began. So let me just say, it's suffice to say that my character right here went from being the richest, Jeff Bezos, to the brokest homeless man. And it was quite a ride. Now, being the giant man baby gamer that I am, I actually was very emotionally invested in RuneScape. So when I lost what was equivalent 4.8 billion gold, which is, trust me, it's a lot in the game. At the time, this was like 3 years ago, I basically was super pissed and quit the game for like 3 years. And during that time, I started playing other games, namely mobile games. And now here we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are now a YouTuber. I've been playing RuneScape for 20 years now. However, I learned something new about RuneScape. Today was very different and made me feel dumb. Now, I have enhanced this so you can see this. Do you see where it shows my Steam wallet money? I have like $8.71. Trust me, this all connects home to the main point here in just a moment. CSGO even has a little slide into this story. The Steam wallet balance can be used for a number of things, but including a number of things it can be used for is purchasing content in the game like DLCs. Well, Old School RuneScape's DLC, if you look at it, it's mostly just membership so you can play the game, plus original soundtracks. And that, in fact, that's all you can really see on the Steam store. But that's not all you can buy with the Steam wallet. If you actually log into RuneScape through Steam, there is an option to open the store through the bond pouch. And if you actually open this up in it, it will open up the Steam store with you logged in through your Steam account. And here you have the normal options to play RuneScape or buy the membership, but you also have old school bonds. And if you click on old school bonds, you can literally buy bonds in RuneScape using your Steam wallet balance. I was farming during the whole time I was figuring this out because I still got to hit 480 and it takes an absolute ton of time and I want enough legendaries to max out my mastery and all that. So I was just sitting there farming in Immortal, basically in the same spot I'm going to right now. So I got to wondering why I was sitting there. I was like, wait a minute. I used to play CSGO way back in the day. Don't I have some CSGO skins that I can sell for Steam wallet money? And the answer to that was I absolutely did. Now, these aren't exactly expensive skins. They're mostly like $3, $4, but I had like a $60 skin in there that I was able to sell. And I had like a $25 skin and a couple other ones. By the end of it, I had like pretty damn near $240 sitting in my Steam wallet account. Now, if this was Diablo Immortal, that $200 balance would get me a trove, which would essentially get me absolutely nowhere in terms of progression. It would probably factually do nothing for my resonance at all. But in RuneScape, $240 is 30 bonds. When I sold my CSGO skins, and I realized I could get bonds, and I calculated out how much gold I was actually about to get in RuneScape, and my jaw dropped. I could not believe how much money I've spent on other gacha games. Like looking into things like Raid Shadow Legends, like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Diablo, thousands and thousands of dollars. Even the game right before Diablo, Awaken Chaos, I spent like $3 grand in that game alone. And that one, like I broke even on that game on YouTube basically, like to give you an idea. I spent too much money on these gacha games. 100% I have. Do you have any idea how rich I would be in the game? I'd be so rich in the game. I'd be the richest person I have ever even heard of in RuneScape. And all of through which you could get just through the Jagex store by buying bonds. I never even realized this was a thing. I spent so long of my time just farming the game and multiple accounts getting gold. And then I go into stupid phone games and I spend dozens of thousands of dollars over the years on the phone game. And I could have done it on RuneScape. Take it as a lesson from me that it's not about the RuneScape gold. What is your RuneScape gold for you? Take all the money you spend on these mobile games, add them up, realize how big of money that is, and then think about what you could have bought that you would have wanted your entire life for that amount. For me, maybe it would have been a really good like adventure motorcycle. I have like a couple crotch rockets and like an old or two old like off-road enduro type things, but like a really nice high-end like KTM Adventure 1200 or something to actually explore Alaska with. I could have bought that and had money for time off and stuff too with all the money I've spent on gacha games, etc. over the years. You know, and maybe some people this isn't relevant at all. Maybe some people it is relevant. But for me, it was relevant, at least. And I also thought it was kind of a funny story that it's like, how have I never put these two and two together? Like, I've been welling out in all these gacha games, and I never even once thought to, like, yo, DM, you can just buy bonds in, like, your favorite game. Like, if you're going to really well out in these games, like, and you know how often I bitch about being broke on RuneScape and, like, missing my old bank that I had back in the day, etc. Anyway, at a minimum, I thought it was a funny story and that somebody out there would probably enjoy it. I love y'all. Thanks so much for the new subs. Got a bunch of new subs, so if you made it all the way to the end, consider subscribing or liking the video as it will help me out. That's it. Have a great one.